Welcome back, everybody. How did you get on with Buried Treasure? Did anybody manage to get to 10? Oh, I bet you did. Well done. Now then, are you ready for our last maths lesson this week? We have been so busy with our maths this week, haven't we? We've been doing some counting, we've practiced how to make number 6, we've done some shapes, we've done some position and talked about describing where things are and how to get to things. And then yesterday we had a memory game, didn't we? How did you get on with that? I hope you did a good job. Now today, to finish our week, we're going to do a bit more practicing on that clever thing called subitizing, okay? Now, before we get to that, let's just get our mathsy brains all switched on and warmed up. Are you ready? For starters, I am going to do some claps and I would love you to count how many I do. Are you ready? Are you listening? Ready? How many did I do? 4. Well done. I'm going to clap and count this time. Can you keep an eye on me and just make sure I do it right? Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 claps, yeah? Oh, what did I do? What did I get a bit muddled up? Well done. When we count, we have to be really careful that we only count one number for each one thing we count. I did 2 numbers for each clap, didn't I? I went 1, 2, but I only did 1 clap. When we count, we have to be really careful that we count one thing at a time. So let's try again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Was that better? It felt better this time. Thanks for your help, guys. Okay, let's do some together now then. Can you do me 2 really loud claps? Ready, steady. 1, 2. Well done. Can you do me 5 really quiet claps? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well done. Can you do me 6 fairy claps? So fairies have tiny hands, so we have to use our tiny fingers. Ready for 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well done. Can you do me 3 giant claps? So they have big arms. They have to do big, massive claps. Are you ready for 3? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Well done. Okay, that's our counting practice. Let's practice our numbers. What number is this one? 4. Well done. What number is this one? 2. What number is this one? 3. What number is this one? 5. What number is this one? 1. And what number is this one? 6. Good job. Now, can you remember at the start of yesterday's lesson, I said that if we can learn what the faces on a dice look like, that's the best way to start our subitizing, isn't it? Because subitizing is when we can look at something and know how much is there just by looking and not by counting. And I said if we can learn our dice faces, then we've made a good start to our subitizing. So shall we have a little practice today and see how many you can remember? Are you ready? What's this one? 2. Well done. This one? 1. Easy peasy. This one? 4. Well done. This one? 3. Well done. And this one? 5. Well done. And this one? 6. Well done. Now then, don't worry if there are a couple in there that you're not sure of yet. That's okay. We're going to do lots and lots of practicing to try and help us get speedier with that subitizing. Let's just go back to the start then and think about what subitizing is. So, to subitize something, that means we're going to look at it and know how much is there without having to count it. All right? Now, of course, guys, if you're not sure how much of something there is and you're not sure how to subitize it, you can always go back to your counting. It's always okay to count if you're not sure, okay? So if I looked at this one and I thought, oh, I just don't know, I can always go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to help me find out how much that is. That's absolutely fine, okay? But the more we practice, hopefully, the quicker we'll get at being able to spot how many of something we've got. And to do that, we can look for things that we do recognise to help us. So, for example, on this one, I can see I've got 3 here and 3 here. And we know from our work this week, don't we, that 3 and 3 makes 6. Well done. So, I've subitized, okay? I haven't had to count each little dot. I've spotted things that I do know, and I've used those to help me figure out how much there is. 3 and 3 is 6. Let's go through some more examples and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Can anyone tell me how much have I got here? 3, well done. And I can see we've got 3 without counting because I can see I've got 2 here and 1 here. And I know that 2 and 1 more is 3. Now you might have seen it in a different way. You might have seen that you've got 1, 1 and 1, and you might know that that's 3. And that's absolutely fine. It's whatever works for you. People will see it in different ways, and that's absolutely fine. 3. Let's have a look at, oh, are you ready? Are you ready for a really hard one? Ready? Oh, how many have we got here? 2, well done. Because we can see we've got 1 here and 1 here, and we know 1 and 1 is 2. So we've got 2. Okay, let's try a slightly trickier one. How many have I got here? Remember, try not to count. Try and look at what we've got and think about how many's there. How many have we got? 4. Well done. And how do we know we've got 4, guys? How do we know? I can see that we've got 3 here and 1 more here. 3 and 1 makes 4. Well done. So we know we've got 4. Now again, you might have seen it in a different way. You might have seen 2 up here, 1 here and 1 here. 2 and 1 and 1 is 4. Doesn't matter how you see it, as long as you can try and see some patterns to help you figure out how many there are. Okay? Now, as our numbers get bigger, it can get harder for us to see how many we've got. Okay? How many have we got here? What do you think? How many? 5. Well done. Now, how do you know that there's 5? Let's have a look. We could say we've got 4 here, which we recognise from our dice, don't we? 4 here, and 1 more here, which makes 5. Or you might say you can see 2, and 2, and 1 more. 2 and 2 is 4, and 1 more is 5. Okay. Or if it's starting to look like there's too many dots there and you can't sabotage, you can't see any patterns and see how many there is, what could you always do? Well done. You can always go back to that careful counting and see how many there are that way. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well done. Are you ready for a superstar challenge one? Let's see how we get on with this one. How many is here? have a little look. How many? 6. Well done. How did you see 6 this time? I can see 2 here and 2 here and 2 here. And I know that 2 and 2 and 2 is 6. Or you might have seen 4 here and 2 here. And we know from our work this week, don't we, that 4 and 2 is 6. Or there might have been too many dots here for you to subitize, and you might have just gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's okay too, okay? Remember, whilst we're learning how to subitize, it's always okay to go back to that counting if you think there are too many for you to spot. All right. Now, today's mathsy game, and your job for today, is to have a bit of a practice and get started at building that subitizing skill. Okay, now to be able to do this, you're going to need to make yourself either some cards with the dice face for each number on, so you'll need a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5 and a 6, okay, or you might make yourself some cards with your numbers on. Now, in your home learning packs, in the Teddy Bears picnic packs, you did have some number cards in there. So if you'd like to, you could use those for this game. But you're only going to need your cards from 1 to 6, okay? Now, so you can see a bit more clearly, I'm going to stick mine up, but you might decide to put yours down on the floor or on the table. It's up to you, okay? And you choose. You can have the dice pictures showing, or you can have the numbers showing. Whichever one you want to work with is absolutely fine. 4, okay, 5, and let me get a little bit more blue tack. 6. Okay. Now then, can I squeeze it in? Just about. Your grown-up, or whoever you're playing with, needs to get themselves a cup. I've got a little silver pot for mine. And then you're going to need 6 little objects. So you might get 6 bits of Lego, 6 buttons, 6 raisins. Completely up to you. But they need to be little enough to be able to go in the cup. Now, your grown-up isn't allowed to let you see how many of your little objects, I've rolled up little balls of blue tack, they're going to put in their cup. So they're going to sneak some objects into their cup. Okay, and they're going to give them a little bit of a shake. Shaky shake. And then they're going to pour them out on the surface in front of you. Now, so you can see, let me show you what they might look like if you pulled them out. Okay. Now, your job is to try and subitize and see how many you've got. Okay. I can see I've got 2 here and 1 here. Oh, so that means I must have 3. So once I know how many I've got, I'm going to tap dice card number 3 to show that that's how many I've got. I've got 3. Or if it's your number card, I tap the number 3 number card. Okay? Once you've had one go, give them back to your grown-up, and your grown-up needs to put a different amount in your cup this time, or they might try and trick you and put the same amount in again. Okay? I'm going to give them another shake, shaky shake, pour them out again, and again, let me stick them up so you can see what it might look like. Okay, oop. And pick that one up. Okay, and then once you've got them tipped out, you need to try and subitize again for me and see how many you've got. So I can see here I've got 2 and 2. So I know I've got 4. And I'm going to tap number 4. Whoops, tap number 4 to show I've got 4. Okay. Now, if you're finding it tricky to subitize and you're not sure how many you've got without counting them, then use a smaller number, okay? It is always okay to count, but we're trying to build that subitizing skill. So whilst you're getting used to it, start with a smaller amount that you can recognise, so 2 or 3 or 4. And then once you've got really busy with those, you can add in a couple more and see if you can subitize up to 6. I wouldn't go any higher than 6. 6 is plenty high enough. Once we get past 6, there's starting to just get far too many to see patterns in, isn't there? Okay? Have a game with your grown-up and you might swap over. Why don't you sneak some things into the cup and pour them out for your grown-up and see if they can subitize how many there is. And you can be the teacher and you can check that they've got it correct. Okay? See how you get on. Practice those subitizing skills. Start small if it's a bit tricky and practice, practice, practice. Have lots of fun and I'll see you after lunch ready for this afternoon.